Hello and welcome to our Alumni Spotlight podcast. My name's Autumn, and I work to tell the stories of our amazing students and alumni here at Ashworth College. Today, I'm talking with Brittany Garcia, who graduated from our associate degree program in healthcare administration in October of 2020 and recently completed her bachelor's degree in healthcare management this year. Fun fact, Brittany is also one of our 2021 Graduate of the Year finalists. Welcome, Brittany.
Hello.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations on being a finalist. This is such an amazing accomplishment. How are you feeling?
Oh my goodness, I think I have cried for 2 days straight. I am so excited and I'm absolutely honored and privileged to be in the position that I am right now.
Well, thank you so much. I love hearing that you're excited about it, you're feeling good about it, and we wish you luck as you continue throughout the finalist process. Brittany, I know you have really an incredible story, and we want to jump right in and share that with our listeners. How did you find Ashworth College, and what were you up to before enrolling?
Well, funny story. A little bit of a long one, but it's worth the listen. I actually had given up on actually pursuing any type of higher education. My husband and I had talked about it and said, hey, like you're getting older, you're progressing in your current career. I was a leasing agent for an apartment community at the time. And I had recently gotten a promotion, and I said, you know what, that's fine. I'm just going to stay in this career path and just go up from there. Well, we had started out in a little apartment and kind of worked our way up, and we had been married for 4 or 5 years, and we had decided to purchase our very first home. It was something that we had been looking forward to for quite a long time and had been saving up for quite a long time, going from living paycheck to paycheck to me excelling a little bit in my career, kind of helped that along. Well, we actually purchased our house in September, and we had paid our very first mortgage payment October 1st, and a devastating hurricane hit our little town October 10th. So we had literally paid our very first mortgage in our very first home, and the rug was completely ripped out from under our feet by this hurricane. And not to mention, I had just found out I was pregnant a week prior. So whenever I tell you, Autumn, that we were on cloud nine and we thought we had our life all figured out, I was like, you know what? I don't need school. It's fine. I'll just excel here. We'll raise our baby here. We just bought our house. And then basically, bam, a hurricane hits. That's exactly what happened. So long story short, I lost my job because, of course, the hurricane destroyed the building. So our plans were literally, vaporized right before our very eyes. And my husband is active duty military. So we, of course, had to immediately go on evacuation orders. And we lived condo to condo, hotel to hotel for 6 or 7, nearly 8 months. Well, during that time, I started to kind of look into going into looking into schools and just seeing, if there was something that I could do with this newfound time at home, being that I was pregnant, and we were just kind of hanging out on and off the phone with insurance companies. And I had actually discovered Penn Foster initially, and through Penn Foster, I discovered Ashworth College. I had already done a self-paced program through Penn Foster, and I knew that I could do it as long as I just kind of put my mind to it. Well, whenever I called Ashworth College, the support was absolutely unmatched, and they were so excited, so motivated to work there. It inspired me to kind of take that first step. And since then, I just went up from there. We went condo to condo, and being that the school is self-paced, it's flexible. I could work on my school any time of the day, any time of the night, for as long or as little as I wanted. And that was something that, although we were living condo to condo and hotel to hotel, and we ended up having to travel from Florida all the way to Alaska, it was a cross-country move. I was basically able to bring my studies with me. So that's what kind of attracted me to Ashworth College initially. Like I said, long story, but that's what kind of attracted me to it initially.
Yeah, you said a lot of really heart-wrenching and great things at the same time there. Talk about life hitting you all at once, so much went on there.
Yes. bringing my daughter home to a hotel was not in the plan.
Yeah, not ideal at all, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
But I'm sure being able to take your school with you was, I'm sure for you, such a big benefit. And, having that option. So can you tell me a little bit about maybe what some of your favorite things are being an Ashworth student? I know you mentioned self-paced and that it was flexible. Did you, what were your study habits like? What were some of the perks of it?
Oh my goodness, where do I even begin? So first things first, school was always such an intimidating thing for me. I mean, I've done like certificate programs and whatnot. I mean, and those are absolutely challenging all in themselves. But I had really convinced myself that college was kind of not for me, especially going from being a working mom, supposedly that was a plan, to now being a stay-at-home mom, and now traveling from Florida to Alaska, because I mean, all of my family was in Panama City, Florida, where the hurricane hit. So I mean, we were in our new house. I thought I was going to have all of the support, and we literally went from hotel to hotel straight to Anchorage, Alaska from Florida. So, I mean, honestly, just the flexibility, the affordability of Ashworth College is absolutely unmatched, not to mention their incredible support team. Whenever I say that I am so proud to be an alumni of Ashworth, I cannot even put into words how, I mean, I can repeat myself, how proud I am, because again, the flexibility and the affordability is unmatched. In the mornings, I would really try to knock out my written assignments, because that's whenever my brain flowed the best. And then at night, in fact, my very first class, Achieving Academic Excellence, one of the things that they really highlighted on was that the night before, it's good to kind of like touch on your studies a little bit, because your brain, you remember things better for your quizzes. And that is absolutely 100% true. I had this habit of doing a lot of my written assignments in the morning and the bulk of my studying in the mornings. And then whenever my daughter went to bed, I would basically just recap on everything. And that, I mean, it was such a smooth transition to have that flexibility to literally be able to study and turn in my assignments whenever I wanted. So, I mean, I could literally talk about Ashworth all day long, but those three things would probably be the three things that stand out in my mind the most.
Yeah, that's great. And I love that you threw in a little bit of study tips there too for our listeners as to what worked best for you. And that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
So I know it seems like you made a little bit of a career switch, and you mentioned getting a career diploma first, taking a Penn Foster course. Can you tell me what you took with Penn Foster and what made you kind of make a switch to the healthcare field?
Well, that's that's a fun story. So I was so intimidated and I was so terrified, but I know that growth is uncomfortable. And typically the most intimidating path is usually the right one. So math has never really been my strong suit, and I knew that medical billing and coding would be a solid career path. I would make good money. Well, when I was getting into that program and I learned something, because I was a dog trainer for many, many years. So this is a completely, I mean, out of my element, like whenever I say the polar opposite field, I'm talking like polar opposite field. And when I basically swallowed my fears and said, you know what, I'm going to go for billing and coding. And when I basically learned an entirely different language in the medical field, and I understood something that was so intimidating for me, I was like, you know what, mental health has something it's kind of been something that's been a little bit of a passion of mine, as far as like helping my friends and being there for them and kind of being a voice for getting them out of their ruts and whatnot. And I was like, man, I bet I can work like in the administration part of a mental health field and healthcare administration. I mean, mental health absolutely falls into healthcare. So I was like, my goodness, if I can get an associate's degree in this and maybe even get my bachelor's degree in healthcare management, because Ashworth College offered that program. And from what I understand, Ashworth College and Penn Foster, they're sister schools. So I knew that the platform had to be similar. So that's whenever I called Ashworth and said, hey, I've completed my program. This is something that I'm interested in. And whenever I tell you, this wonderful angel of a woman spent 45 minutes with me in detail telling me about every associate's degree program that could potentially help me and kind of guide me in the path that I wanted to go. I'm talking a solid 45 minutes to an hour. And I mean, that's really what got me hooked on this career path and what ultimately helped me kind of fine tune where I wanted to go.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm glad you mentioned, the resources available at Ashworth, that we're taking the time, someone took the time to figure out where you want it to go. And that's a meaningful moment and something that obviously stuck with you. And I wanted to ask
absolutely.
too, you took the career diploma program with Penn Foster, you then moved on to your associates and then finally your bachelor's degree. How do you feel like maybe an online platform or online education kind of gave you the confidence to keep going? I know you mentioned school was never really your thing. How do you think that changed once you enrolled online?
So, of course, it's intimidating, it's challenging, but whenever I say the support team at Ashworth College is unmatched, I mean that wholeheartedly. I'm talking like whenever I would get nervous, I would cry. I mean, of course, I'm a stay-at-home mom with no help. My husband being active duty, he's gone all the time. So, I mean, I'm on my own as far as like making time for my studies and trying to get things done while my daughter is asleep. I'm talking like I would call, there are tutoring services available. I mean, they make it so easy and they basically ease all of your, I guess, fears and intimidation by providing you, numerous resources. I'm talking they provided, YouTube video links, extra readings. The lecture notes were put in a way that, because I'm a visual and hands-on learner, so you can only imagine my intimidation, fear with doing an online program, and not to mention knowing that sitting in a classroom just wouldn't be possible for me. I knew that this was my only choice, and just the fact that they made it that much easier to kind of put your fears aside and offer so many other resources, I truly think that was the reason for my success and how I finished so fast.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so refreshing to hear. And I'm glad that the resources were available and helped you, progress along and want you to continue your education. That's amazing that you went from, not really being interested in school and knowing that it wasn't something for you to now earning your bachelor's degree. That's amazing and definitely an accomplishment to be proud of.
Well, and not to mention, I would also love to add and let you know that I am the first, and I'm going to say this without crying. I can do this. I am the first woman in my family to have graduated college.
Brittany, that's amazing. That's such a huge accomplishment.
Yes.
I hope you're so proud of yourself, and I hope your family's proud. What does graduating from Ashworth mean to those around you? Being the first female in your family to graduate, your family must be tremendously proud.
So whenever I say proud, I'm talking just tears upon tears and just, I feel like such an inspiration to my younger cousins, even my younger sister. Honestly, and I can say this proudly, I have inspired 3 of my other friends to sign up for a degree program, 2 of which have actually joined Ashworth, because of course I am extremely proud of my school and I talk about it all the time. And also, one of my little cousins has also decided to enroll in college, and they are all moms. In fact, 2 of them are military wives as well. And it just kind of showed them, like, hey, like especially whenever I announced that I graduated with my bachelor's degree, they were like, you know what, maybe this is possible. And I think it's so important to be the face and be the voice for those that either one are, because especially with stay-at-home moms, with military wives, or even just people, men, women in general, that are put into situations that either could be traumatic, stressful, or just put them in a mindset that their dreams, their goals of higher education is almost impossible. I would love to be the face and be the voice for them to say, with programs and schools like Ashworth College, that is absolutely not the case. It is not impossible, and it's not too late. I don't care how old you are. I'm going to be 30 next month, and I start my master's degree program. It is not too late. It's not unattainable, especially with how flexible, goodness, I'm getting emotional, especially with how flexible and attainable, affordable. I cannot express one, my gratitude, but also just I cannot say it enough that it is not impossible.
Listening to you talk, it's really, inspiring, and you can see how proud you can hear how proud you are to be an Ashworth
Yes.
College graduate and just, a graduate in general. And I love that you're being a champion for those around you for education and advocating, for them to go on and continue and pursue, maybe a dream that they didn't think was possible.
So, I mean, that is absolutely the case, Autumn. That is absolutely the case. Whenever, because I mean, again, I had already told myself, hey, you know what? I'm getting up there in my 20s, which is not old at all, by the way. I feel like whenever you're 24, 25, you think you're getting so old, and then like when you're kissing 30, 35, it's like, oh, I'm just kidding. But like, I just feel like that people almost say that, you know what, like my situation's too hard. I can't afford it. I can't do this. I can't do that. Let me tell you, I am going into my master's degree program with zero college debt. Who on this planet can realistically say that? I can guarantee it is a very small percent.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, the payments and the affordability that Ashworth provides is really, something special. And I'm glad you found that and you took advantage of that and are preaching that to others. That's so fantastic.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that people are so intimidated of, one, the cost and just the amount of time it takes to complete, higher
Yeah.
education, which is not, uncommon. But I just feel like with schools like Ashworth, I mean, you can finish it as fast as you want, or I mean, if you need to take a week or two off to focus on your mental health, which I did quite often, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what? I need a week off. Great. Okay, you know what? I'm going to spend all day on school. Again, the flexibility is absolutely unmatched.
Yeah, you're right. The option to have it be waiting for you if you needed a break, and not have to worry about missing class or missing assignments is really
No.
just something fantastic about the program, about the school in general.
I completely agree. I feel like I'm such a big person to promote no excuses. I tend to be a very motivational person. It's kind of like hey, if you're in a rut, like, what are you going to do to change that? Like, what are your goals? How are you going to attain them? And I feel like, again, with programs like this, it's like, hey, if you've got 20 minutes a day, an hour a day, or if you've just got a whole day, I mean, it's such a special program in that regard, as far as the flexibility and affordability. And not only that, it's no interest payments. My goodness, what other school can actually offer that? I can tell you it's very little, because I did my research, and Ashworth College came on top every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you are preaching Ashworth College to your friends, your family, and that you had such a great experience. I just love hearing that. But
Every
Brittany, you
day.
mentioned Brittany, you mentioned going to get your master's. So can you tell me, where are you off to next, and what's your ultimate career goal here?
So I had full plans, because I mean, my husband and I agreed that I was going to stay home until my daughter started public school. So I'm thinking, okay, bachelor's degree, 4-year degree, she'll be 4, she'll be going into preschool. Well, thank you, Ashworth. I completed my bachelor's degree in less than 2 years, because I was up in the morning, late at night. And again, that's my choice. You guys do not require that type of commitment whatsoever. But I was motivated and a bit overzealous and obsessed, if I must say. So I did complete my bachelor's degree. I mean, and I completed it so fast that it enabled me and allowed me to begin my master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. I am going to be a licensed therapist. And whenever I tell you I had so many schools to choose from, you always think about, a national accreditation is wonderful. However, you wonder what schools are going to be okay with that and what are not. Listen, I had probably the choice of 4 or 5 schools. I mean, the second I said, okay, I just finished my degree with Ashworth College, I'm like, oh, Ashworth, absolutely. I mean, they accepted my degree in full. I had no prerequisites. I mean, accepted into their programs for the application process, no problem. And I am officially enrolled, and I'm approved, and I am going to begin August the 30th to pursue my dream in becoming a therapist. And it's great that I have my bachelor's degree in healthcare management, because after 2 years, I have the ability to open my own practice. And guess what? I have so much knowledge in how the healthcare and how healthcare facilities function and work, between the insurance and just how the day-to-day operations work and run smoothly. I am so prepared to run my own business as a therapist because of you guys and because of the opportunity that you've given me to pursue my master's in something that I never thought I would ever be able to do.
Brittany, this is all so great. Congratulations. And we're definitely so proud of you. And I love that your passion behind it and how enthusiastic you are to, keep going and go further.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in fact, I have actually thought about, once I start my master's degree program, just kind of depending on the workload, I am hopefully planning, fingers crossed if it works out, I want to go back to Ashworth again and pursue a second bachelor's degree in psychology, only because I love the school, I love the learning, and all of my electives were all in psychology if I was able to choose that. And I loved all of the classes for Ashworth, and I just figured it would just be something else that I can add to my resume. So that is in the works. It's not official yet, but I do fully plan on coming back for a second bachelor's degree.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you have such big plans.
I do, and I am so ready to conquer all of them.
Well, Brittany, I want to start wrapping up our interview. I want to ask you two final questions. First, how does it feel? And I'm pretty sure I know, but can you, give us a summary of how does it feel to be an Ashworth College graduate?
Well, if it tells you anything, your question just brought me to tears. I mean, I cannot even express into words how proud I am to be an alumni of such an incredible school. I'm talking the support is unmatched, the affordability is unmatched, the flexibility is unmatched. You simply will not find another school that can compare to how great those three things are. And that's as simply as I can put it. I cannot wait to take my successes and hopefully inspire others and hopefully recruit more Ashworth graduates, because this school has opened so many doors, windows, you name it, to provide an amazing future for myself and for my daughter as well.
I love that. And I love hearing it. Congratulations, Brittany. We're definitely so proud of you over here at Ashworth. And I want to wrap up our interview with one last question. What are 3 words you would use to sum up your Ashworth College experience?
Okay, I would say challenging, enlightening, and fulfilling.
Those are 3 great words. Brittany, thank you so much, and best of luck as you continue on the process to maybe becoming our next graduate of the year.
Oh my goodness, I cannot even tell you what an honor and a privilege that would be to represent, the best school in the world. I would be just over the moon.
Thank you so much, Brittany, and good luck.
Thank you.